What is going on, everybody? Thammagotcha here, and welcome into another video. We hit expert with Annihilape, the Mike Tyson of the Go Battle League, using a double poison backline here to get rid of all those fairy types. Shadow Alolan Muck is also very strong. Acid Spray and Poison Jab. My goodness, let's check this team out and how I reach expert with this team. So hopping into the first matchup here, absolutely gosh awful lead. Like, what do I do against a freaking Pangoro? Or Oranguru, sorry, not Pangoro. Double monkeys, but monkey see, monkey do, whatever. Alolan Sandslash comes in as the safe swap, and Alolan Muck as a shadow is definitely not as tanky. Drill Run is almost enough to KO at this health range here. I'm gonna go for the poison, the acid spray, sorry, just to hopefully grab a shield, but that was a CMP tie, which I didn't know Alolan Muck won against an Alolan Sandslash. So we get the little farm down with the Annihilape here, and I'm gonna end up taking all these confusion damage here. Gonna shield up the brutal swing. Hopefully they don't go for the Trailblaze. That would have been the smarter move from my opponent, to go for the Trailblaze just to boost their confusion damage. Going for the close combat, that does massive damage, and now out comes a Feraligatr. And with the shield advantage here, Feraligatr should be able to take this matchup, but what I want to do is get this thing low enough to where I can come back in with the Annihilape and hopefully close combat or Rage Fist the Oranguru here. So the first Scald is going to get the shield. The second one should hopefully grab the second shield, and I can come back in with the Annihilape before getting farmed down and gets a little bit of energy coming out of that matchup. So back in comes the Annihilape. I'm going to have to shield this Hydro Cannon, and I'm just really hoping that I can now outpace here. Going to throw the Rage Fist right away. They catch on the Oranguru, which is quite fine by me. They only left with 3 Shadow Claws worth of energy, and I'm hoping I can farm this thing down before I get farmed down, which we do. Farm down the Feraligatr with the Tentacruel alive. We take that game. GG's. Very well played by my opponent as well. Couldn't have been any closer. So Drapion lead here. Don't really have an amazing response to this thing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to eat a crunch, hopefully throw the close combat, either grab a shield or knock out the Drapion, or get very close to knocking it out. So going to throw right before they get to their Aqua Tail. Go for the close combat here. This is going to do maximum damage, knocking out that Drapion. And I'm going to save swap into my Alolan Muck here. Alolan Muck is going to take neutral damage from this Disarming Voice, but it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. So I'm going to throw 2 poison jabs and then the acid spray, baiting the Dark Balls, as Dark Balls would do a boat ton of damage, grabbing that shield. Now out comes a Guzzlord. We have enough energy here to get to a second acid spray, which is going to lower this Guzzlord's defense by 2 stages. And now look at the counters, just rip through this Guzzlord. Gonna shield up the Dragon Claw, as that would put us at like 1 Dragon Tail range before getting knocked out. So gonna go for the close combat here, hoping this gets the full knockout. Yes, it does. And now I can just spam switch after throwing 1 counter. So that is key, throwing 1 counter so the Incinerate doesn't register, and I defer the damage onto my Tentacruel. Gonna no shield the Shadow Ball here. Gonna go for the Scald, grabbing the last shield of the game, and I'm just hoping that if I save 1 shield for Annihilape, that a Rage Fist is going to be enough to knock out. So I'm going to shield up the Disarming Voice. Oh, don't save the shield. That probably would have been the smarter play to save the shield for Annihilape. But now the Shadow Ball is going to come in, knock out the Tentacruel, and I'm hoping 4 counters comes in, just enough to get to this Rage Fist. Rage Fist, is it enough to knock out the Skeleturge? Yes, it is. Who was worried? And we take that second game. GG's. Very well played by my opponent. So hopping into the next matchup, Annihilape versus Annihilape. So this matchup really all depends on who wins this CMP tie, or CAP tie, sorry. And we end up winning it. I do have a little bit of attack here on my Annihilape, so that's good to know. Gonna no shield the first one, as I don't need to shield the first one. It's the second and third that you want to be shielding. Gonna throw the Rage Fist right away, and my opponent makes a great catch here on the Drapion. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna farm up to 5 and then catch the Crunch here on my Tentacruel. Crunch, maybe I should have came in with the Alolan Muck, but I think I wanted the Tentacruel against the Annihilape here, just to resist the counters and not take neutral damage. Unfortunately, we do get the defense fall here, so a second Crunch is going to come in and do a boatload of damage. I'm going to throw a couple more poison jabs and then throw the Skull just to get rid of this Drapion. And they're probably going to come back in with their own Annihilape, get the farm down before I get to the Scald. Super unfortunate, so I'm going to come in with the Muck right away. I'm going to eat this Rage Fist, and then I'm going to hard pivot back into my Annihilape. My Annihilape has a little bit of energy. They just wasted all theirs, and they should be 1 counter ahead of us. So from here, I think I shield this, and I'm thinking I can possibly get a farm down, but it's a Tentacruel. But that Tentacruel is not running Poison Jab. don't even know what this fast move is. What is that fast move? If someone could let me know in the comments down below what that fast move is. But you definitely want to be running Poison Jab, as it is a superior fast move, damage, and energy generation. Gonna no shield the acid spray. That was huge, and I'm like, okay, this has got to be another acid spray. No shield that as well. We're going for a lot of energy here. Have enough for the Dark Pulse against that Annihilape. Don't want to take any counter damage, as now I'm just gonna be able to reach another Dark Pulse before my opponent reaches any energy. And this Dark Pulse is gonna neck out the Tentacruel, and that's gonna be a good game. And if my opponent had Poison Jab there, I think that would have been a little bit different. Would have been a lot closer. I think we probably would have lost that. But GG's, well played. On to the next game here. Another Annihilape lead. Again, gonna throw the Rage Fist as soon as I get it. My opponent wants to shield. That's completely fine by me. But they end up no shielding. Again, fine by me. And gonna no shield the next Rage Fist here as well. We are 1 stage boosted, so this Rage Fist should be able to knock out this Annihilape from this health range. And if they want to shield, completely fine by me, because we did win the cap tie here. So we should be able to win the next cap tie, depending on that, if that was a flip coin or not. But we do win the next cap tie. Good for us here. Gonna grab the second shield of the game, and I'm really debating on if I want to shield this or not. I do end up shielding it because I didn't want to take the double boosted counters on any of my back Pokemon here. And now all shields are down and out of place. So one more Rage Fist, gonna take out this Annihilape here. And it is a Talonflame in the back. So I throw one counter, double boosted counter. It's resisted, but it's double boosted. And they're going to come in with my Tentacruel. They're for sure going to throw their Brave Bird and dip out of here. And now out comes a Licky. I tried to throw on good timing there, but it was a little bit of stutter. A lot of stuttering going on this weekend, unfortunately. And we get no attack fall there, which is quite unfortunate. I'm really hoping they Body Slam here, but they go straight for the Shadow Ball. And that tells me they do not have Earthquake, which is beautiful. They're forced to go for Body Slam, which is an absolute garbage move here, and we're going to be able to overfarm energy because we can take another Body Slam here. Body Slam, gonna put us into the yellow, but not gonna do a whole lot. I can throw 4 more Poison Jabs, make sure I can outpace to the next Dark Pulse here. Dark Pulse takes out the Licky. I throw 2 Poison Jabs, and this Dark Pulse should do a lot of damage. Hopefully putting it to a range where 2 Poison Jabs is going to knock out. I throw 2, come in with the Annihilape, and that could have been the lose con, but we ended up winning there. 2 counters is enough to knock out that Talonflame. GG's, well played to my opponent. So hopping into the next matchup. Beautiful lead here. Annihilape into a Lowland Sandslash. They hop into a Typhlosion, and I'm just going to overfarm here. Stuttering like crazy, and we end up giving a full Incinerate through. Oh, yeah, I hate to watch that. Watch it back. So I'm going to shield up the Blast Burn. I'm going to throw 2, swap into my Tentacruel here, catching, hopefully, which is the Blast Burn. Yes, it is. Resisted damage. Tentacruel, you absolute beast. And we can now no shield this Thunder Punch. And I do believe they're 2 Incinerates away from the next Thunder Punch. And we get the full farm down. Now we have all this loaded energy, but my opponent doesn't want the smoke. They top left. GG's. Well played. 5-0 set to start the video off. And we're going into the next set here. So, Annihilape into Guzzlord. Beautiful lead here. Let's see what my opponent wants to do. They hop into a Skunk Tank. Quite fine by me. Gonna no shield the first move here. Even if it is a crunch, it's gonna do damage. But they throw that Trailblaze, which is even better. I throw 1 more counter, and I'm going for the close combat, hoping that they no shield this, but they do, unfortunately. But I put this into a range where now a Dark Pulse should just be enough to KO plus a Poison Jab damage. Crunch is gonna do quite a lot of damage because they are boosted. But now I can overfarm just slightly to hopefully make it to an Acid Spray against that Guzzlord, forcing my opponent to probably swap out when I bring back in the Annihilape. So back in comes the Guzzlord, gonna throw 7 Poison Jabs and then the Acid Spray for proper move timing. Could have thrown the Dark Pulse, but I wanted the double debuff. So even if they do throw a move, this is a counter going through, and that counter against a double debuff Guzzlord is going to do quite a bit of energy. But now they have their own Tentacruel in the back, so this is going to get a little bit dicey. They are a Poison Jab ahead of us here, and we have the 1-to-1 shield advantage. So what we have to do, since I did wait a little bit and they did switch before me, I have to watch for a catch. I have to overfarm significantly in case I do get an attack fall here, and hopefully we have enough energy coming out of this matchup to hit them with a Scald on the back end. So Scald coming through, not going to do a whole lot of damage. They swap into the Guzzlord there, and I swap into my Annihilape, and we're going to shield up this move. I'm hoping I can get a full farm down, but I can't get the full farm down, so I'm going to go for the Rage Fist and hopefully go in with enough energy here Yes, to get to another Rage Fist. That grabs the last shield, coming in with the Tentacruel. Can we eat this Scald to then get to this Scald here? This Scald is going to take out their Tentacruel, and I'm so thankful that we have a very high ranked Tentacruel to take that Scald. So we win that game by the hair of our chinny chin. Good game, well played to my opponent. So hopping into the next matchup, Tentacruel versus Annihilape. This is an absolute god-awful matchup, so I'm going to swap into my Alolan Muck. My opponent is not swapping out. They are farming up a boat ton of energy. A lot of stutter lag going on. I'm going to let the first move go through. Acid Spray. My opponent Acid Sprays me, which is beautiful here, allowing us to have a lot of energy coming into this matchup where Poison Jab has double resisted due to that steel typing. And this is not a very good matchup for the Alolan Muck, but 2 Dark Pulses, and we have this thing deep into the yellow. So I'm now hoping I can get to an Acid Spray here. But my opponent throws energy. If this is a Psychic Fangs, it's not enough to knock out. I'm going to hard pivot into my Annihilape, which I shouldn't have done, because now my Annihilape is going to be stuck against their Tentacruel. And now Tentacruel comes back in. I have a defense fall here. Rage Fist is going to come in, do some decent damage, and give us an attack boost. But my opponent doesn't have to shield this. I will shield up this Scald. Scald will do a lot of damage, and now I'm going to continue to boost up my own attack with Rage Fist, hoping to grab a shield back. And my switch clock timer is coming up. So I'm going to come back in with my Tentacruel here, forcing my opponent to throw energy, which is quite fine by me. Acid Spray comes in, and now out comes a Virizion. And now this is my only win con. This is a double debuffed Leaf Blade against my defenses coming in. That does a lot of damage, but Sludge Wave is going to one-shot left, right, good night. That takes out the Virizion, and we are back in this game. Let's go. Coming back in with the Annihilape here. Annihilape is going to go for a Rage Fist, and I think this is just an Acid Spray. I'm no shielding. Look at the balls I got. Back in comes the Steelix. Gonna throw this Rage Fist, boosting up my attack here, and they no shield that, which is absolutely crazy. And from here, we can almost counter them all the way down. Gonna throw this Rage Fist here just to grab the last shield. Honestly, if we threw the counter, we probably would have won that game anyways. Gonna shield up the potential Scald. Wouldn't have KO'd anyways, but we have the shield. Might as well use it. That's gonna be a good game. Very well played to both trainers. So, whew, very tight, very sweaty. Next game, Golurk lead. This is where you want to see the Golurk. Bad news is Golurk does very well again into an island. Mud Slap is gonna absolutely shred us, but they no shield the Rage Fist, which is freaking crazy in my view. For now, I'm just gonna go for another Rage Fist, get another boost, potentially counter down a Ghost type, so we get the full counter down. But I had given up 2 shields. We're gonna get 1 shield back with this close combat. Maybe I should have baited with the Rage Fist. That probably would have been a good play. But now out comes a Licky. Gonna try to throw on proper timing here. Go for the Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse is gonna do some nice damage. Look at the poison jabs absolutely adding up here. And I'm hoping I can get to 1 more Dark Pulse, but they have the Earthquake, and that is super unfortunate. Gonna go for this Dark Pulse here, hoping that this grabs either a shield, but it knocks them out. And my opponent is putting it all on Drapion, and I think that is the right call. I have a win con in this matchup. I think I either need to catch or make sure they throw their energy and come in with the Annihilape and outpace them to a close combat. So my opponent throws double crunch, and now I'm thinking I can outpace them. We get the defense fall, which kind of almost forces me to swap out here. So I swap into my Annihilape, and we wouldn't have made it, even if they had, if they didn't have that 1 energy head start against us. We were 5 counters away to our close combat. They were 4 away from the Aqua Tail. Super well played game. What I should have done is built up to another Scald, tried to catch the crunch on my Annihilape, and then hopefully that would have won us the game. But we didn't play like that. We did what we did. So next game, great lead for us. We're going to throw 5 counters and then hop into our Drapion, catching the crunch. We do get the defense fall. Quite unfortunate. We're going to have to let this Aqua Tail go through. And now I'm hoping that they no shield this Dark Pulse. If they no shield the Dark Pulse, I can potentially shield and farm all the way down, getting switch advantage, keeping my Annihilape on that Guzzlord, because I'm thinking they're probably going to have a Tentacruel in the back. So we do shield that up. They're going to come back in with the Guzzlord. I throw 1 poison jab, going for the Acid Spray. And then from here, they're going to knock out my little Muck. Going to come in with the Annihilape. I'm throwing this close combat just to get a damage head start. Because I am at a shield deficit, I need to have health advantage. So what that does is that forces now my opponent to, for 1, shield the Tentacruel, or keep both shields for Guzzlord, which they shield up the Tentacruel. I think their play would have been to no shield every single Scald and keep both shields for Guzzlord. But now out comes the Guzzlord. I'm going to throw this Sludge Wave. This Sludge Wave is going to do maximum damage, putting it into a range where I can now farm down, save a shield, and potentially grab a shield from that Tentacruel with a Rage Fist here. So Rage Fist should just be enough to grab the shield, which is perfect. And then from here, I should now be able to outpace to my second Rage Fist. So I'm going to shield up this Scald, go for another Rage Fist, and this Rage Fist should just be enough to knock out the Tentacruel. But my opponent knows the game is over. GG's, well played to them. Hopping into the next matchup here. Annihilape into Moltres. Woo! This is going to be a spicy one. I'm going to throw 8 counters. They're going to throw the Brave Bird right away, or Ancient Power, but they end up throwing the Brave Bird, shielding up that move. I'm going to throw this Close Combat just like I did in the last game. I'm at a shield deficit. I'm at 1 counter over, so I throw the Close Combat and I come in with my Tentacruel, nullifying their energy, but also coming in and having a little bit of a health advantage, so either forcing them to shield or give up Switch. So what I'm going to do is Scald, that gets no shielded, and I'm thinking from this health range, I can now go for a full Poison Jab farm down and come out with a lot of energy here. So we get the attack fall, which is absolutely brutal. Back out comes the Moltres here. I'm going to Heart Pivot, saving that Scald, coming with my Alola Muck, going to Acid Spray this Wheezing here, and I'm no shielding everything. If they want to overheat me, that's quite fine by me. Play Rough is not going to be enough to knock out, and I'm hoping I can get to one more Acid Spray, but they get to a move. And if this is Brutal Swing, I think I live. We live on like 1 HP and a dream. Let's go, Alola Muck. Acid Spray them, come back in with the Annihilape, going for the Rage Fist right away here. And I'm hoping that this Rage Fist gets shielded, and it does. That is absolutely beautiful. And from here, I don't think I need to throw another charge move. I can shield this move up. I can farm this Moltres all the way down, but I decided to go for the double boost, which in hindsight, we do get the second shield. Actually, that was the right play because we grabbed the second shield, which is perfect for us. That Ancient Power is not enough to knock us out. Hard pivot back into the Tentacruel because we saved that Skull for later. And that is going to be a good game and a 4-1 set to push us all the way to Expert. 27-67 is where we are going to end off. Whew. These battles were very, very intense. This team is a lot of fun to use. Obviously, if you're seeing a lot of Mud Slappers, don't try this team because Mud Slap is going to absolutely destroy your backline. And Annihilape can only do so much, but especially with Close Combat being your nuke move, you're double debuffing yourself, forcing yourself to switch out. So I had a lot of fun with this team. It worked really well for me in the ELO range I was at, so I hope you try it, have a lot of success with it. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you are liking the content, please hit that like button, comment if you want to see anything in the future, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because it really helps out the channel and it is greatly appreciated. We will see everybody in the next video. Bye-bye.